Some African countries are among the fastest growing economies in the world. The largest components of the African economy are agriculture, trade, and natural resources, and the African economy is expected to reach a GDP of $29 trillion by 2050. While there are several ways to compare a nation's wealth, one of the best ways to measure is by taking a look at the purchasing gross domestic product or GDP of a nation. This is the value of the goods and services that come from a nation for 1 year. GDP does not consider the difference in the cost of living and inflation rates between countries as GDP per capita purchasing power parity does. With GDP information from the International Monetary Fund, these are the top 10 wealthiest African countries. Please subscribe to our channel, share this video, don't forget to like and leave your comments. Thank you. Number 10, Angola. With $66.49 billion in GDP, Angola is our number 10. The oil sector accounts for one third of GDP and more than 90% of exports. With the end of the oil boom from 2015, Angola entered into a period of economic contraction. Number 9, Ivory Coast. $70.99 billion GDP. The Ivory Coast is largely market-based and depends heavily on the agricultural sector. Almost 70% of the Ivorian people are engaged in some form of agricultural activity. Principal exports are cocoa, coffee, and tropical woods. Number 8, Ghana. $74.26 billion in GDP. The economy of Ghana has a diverse and rich resource base, including the manufacturing and exportation of digital technology goods, automotive and ship construction and exportation, and the exportation of diverse and rich resources such as hydrocarbons and industrial minerals. Number 7, Ethiopia. $93.97 billion in GDP. The economy of Ethiopia is a mixed and transition economy with a large public sector. Ethiopia has one of the fastest growing economies in the world and is Africa's second most populous country. Number 6, Kenya. $106.04 billion in GDP. Kenya recently reached lower middle income status and has successfully established a diverse and dynamic economy. It also serves as the point of entry to the larger 300 million East African market. Number 5, Morocco. $124 billion in GDP. Moroccan economy is heavily dependent on the export of raw materials. Also of growing importance to the economy are modern sectors, particularly tourism and telecommunications. The modern portion accounts for a large percentage of their gross domestic product. Number 4, Algeria. $151.46 billion in GDP. Algeria's economy is dominated by its exports trade in petroleum and natural gas, commodities that, despite fluctuations in world prices, annually contribute roughly one third of the country's gross domestic product. Number 3, South Africa. $329.53 billion in GDP. South Africa has a highly developed economy and an advanced infrastructure, one of the world's largest exporters of gold, platinum, and other natural resources. Agriculture is of major importance to South Africa. It produces a significant portion of exports and contributes greatly to the domestic economy. Number 2, Egypt. $394.28 billion in GDP. Egypt is the second richest country in Africa with a population of 104 million. Egypt is also a mixed economy with an emerging information and communications technology sector. Following Egypt's 2030 vision, which is aimed at diversifying Egypt's economy, the country's economy became the second largest in Africa. Before we go to the number 1, please subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified about our subsequent videos. Moving on to number 1, Nigeria is our number 1. with $514.05 billion in GDP. Nigeria is the richest and most populous country in Africa. The country's large population of 211 million is a likely contributor to its large GDP. Nigeria is a middle income mixed economy, an emerging market with growing financial, service, communications, technology sectors. Nigeria is ranked as the 27th largest economy in the world in terms of nominal GDP. In the first quarter of 2021, the GDP added up to around 40 trillion naira. Nigeria has the largest GDP in Africa. This is the top 10 richest African countries. Thank you for watching.